Hi, I'm getting ready for hopefully my last chemo treatment. Well, tomorrow morning I go in for my blood test, and then in theory, the day after that, I go in for my 12th chemo treatment. So, this is about the effects of chemo 10 and 11. I didn't do a video for chemo 10, and I'll explain why. You can't really see too much in the background of the mess. My apartment is a total disaster. And the reason is I'm moving. My goal was to finish my chemo and then to move. And so I didn't have to change doctors, anything like that. But the cancer didn't kill me, and the chemo hasn't killed me, but moving might. It's traumatic. It's stressful, and it's just been and it's turning into a bit of a nightmare trying to get everything done and get everything out. The biggest challenge I have right now is bookcases. Okay, I am a bibliophile. I love books. Books are things that I truly enjoy. And there's a book called A Gentle Madness about bibliophile. I've got a copy somewhere. Anyway, the um, problem with being a bibliophile is that you need a lot of bookcases. So I was mistaken. I think I had 25 bookcases in my apartment. One of them was sort of hashed up, and I gave that one to the veterans. Schedule a Pickup is a website that lets you, for the Vietnam veterans, they come in and will pick up stuff, at least in this area. I don't know how it is nationwide, but they do that. And I remember I gave them the first bookcase, and I gave them another five. And trying to get the bookcases out of the apartment to the front porch, which I really don't have much of a front porch. And not for, I put 11 bookcases, is 11 out there? I think, yeah, it's 11 out there, or 10 out there. I put 10 bookcases out for the veterans, and these are all the 8-foot tall bookcases. Anyway, so it's moving the bookcases, getting the stuff off, getting the books and putting those in boxes. That was easy. Moving the bookcases is hard. They're particularly with that. And where that has really been difficult is because of the chemo, and it's the peripheral neuropathy in my hands. And so I'm not sure if it's the chemo. I know that builds up and things like that. And I have the peripheral neuropathy, and it hasn't really gone much away. My fingers are numb, but they're much more sensitive. And I'm also diabetic. And so when I test my blood, it hurts. It normally hadn't, because you get used to the little pinprick that you do every day to check your blood. But because the peripheral neuropathy is making it hurt. That also, I bled twice this time. So what happens is, between the move with 10 and 11 chemo treatments, the peripheral neuropathy's got kind of intense. And I don't know if I'm feeling it more, because I've changed extensively what I'm doing. Normally, I'm sort of a sedentary person, but now I'm moving bookcases, and I'm packing things, and I'm using my hands in a different way. It's not like typing. And I notice that they seem to be much more sensitive to that. But I look at my body and I go, I got scratches and scrapes where I have, because I've been moving things around. You just get scratches and scrapes that things like that. And I curse a lot so things don't agree with me. Getting the bookcases out the door was challenging. Yeah, I gotta get them around a corner. I've got to take them. I'm taking them through the foyer rather than, and I'm not sure if that's the best idea. But anyway, it's trying to figure out the diagram of this apartment, which would be better. But it's I've got 10 of them out waiting for the veterans to pick them up. I got to get 10 of them out tomorrow, or 9 of the 9 last ones, out, and the problem with it is some of them have stuff on them. I've got to get that out off of those and get those out there, because those are the hardest things to deal with, because they're just difficult. They're big, and they're awkward to move around. And I want to do that before I actually start on chemo, because I don't want to be dealing with moving big, heavy things like that while I got something accessing my port. So I've just got to do that. So what happens is that that's the challenge that I've got right now. 10, that I get the mouth sores, and the mouth sores right now haven't gone away. So it's there. My sense of taste is off. Meat is the one that really, cheese is okay, but meat really, beef really doesn't taste very good. And because it has a funny artificial metallic taste, because the taste bud effect of the taste buds, which is sort of a problem. Fish doesn't even taste right. I mean, so many things. But what happens is that it's been difficult to, because of the taste. I like food. I like good tasting food and things like that. So got to get through with that. Got to get my packing done and get all that out. Now, this for 10, that was the mouth sores were that. 11, for the first time throughout this chemo, I had a bout of diarrhea. And it was just, I've been relatively regular going through this. It's colon cancer, so I'm relatively regular. And then I go in the morning, and then about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I have to go again quite urgently, and that's diarrhea. And I get 2 bouts of diarrhea. Then I get the other extreme. I'm empty, I think, and so what happens is, so I don't have any activity for 2 days, and so I start taking fiber. I'm back to normal now. But this is the first time. That's the first time I've had any effect, really, other than changing color. But that's the iron pills and various things like that change the color. But it's that's fairly simple, not really painful, not just a little bit of tiny little bit of discomfort with regard to the diarrhea. But it was and so I haven't had anything else. No nausea. No, I haven't had any problems with that. The challenge has been right now, it's my fingers and tiredness, and I admit, but I've been more active. I changed phones. I think I'm going to do a video about that. And my new phone actually I have a app that counts my steps, and today I did 4,700 steps. No, 7,400 steps. And for me, I've been very sedentary, and I was trying to get to 3,000. For those of you who don't know, when I first started trying to exercise, I was trying to get to 3,000 steps a day, and I was having a real hard time getting above I'd got to 6,000 steps, and then I couldn't ever do that again. And then I got to 5,000 steps, and I could never do that again. And then because I was getting weaker and weaker, because I had less and less blood. So that was because of my stamina was going down and down, because I knew that, and that was before I went in for the surgery for colon cancer. But it's now, the past couple of days, it's just been really intense because of that. And work is intense. And I'm very grateful for that, though I know I get irritable. And I have very little patience for people who get upset at changes. And when you tell them things are different, you have to adapt. They don't. I came up with a great line, and it says, "We're not doing things the way we used to do. We're doing things the way upper management wants us to do." because that's one of my challenges at work, which is that they want to keep doing what they've done for years, and I'm changing it. And the changes are, I think I'm making the changes are for the better. And I'm not, but the irritability from this, I have very little patience with these people, because they to me, they sounded like spoiled brats today. That they go, I need this because that's what we've always done. And I go, no, you're not getting that. And so irritability is something that you need to be aware of. I don't know, maybe I'm optimistic. I think I'm relatively secure in my position, but we'll see. You never know. You never know what could happen with your job. And I know that. But it's going through and dealing with the chemo. I'm really looking forward to number 12 and seeing how that one does. Because I go in for my blood test tomorrow, and then I go in for hopefully the day after I go in. I go in and see that. They put me on. I was supposed to get a Neulasta shot for 10. Now Neulasta, they normally don't. There was a mix-up when I first started up whether I started on Neulasta. My white blood cell count has been dropping slowly, and it's now below normal. So with 10, I was supposed to go get my Neulasta shot. And because of a comedy of errors, because of moving, I actually forgot about it. And so what happens, I missed it for 10, which was a mistake. They almost didn't want to give me, they almost wanted me to wait another week before 11 because I missed the Neulasta shot and my white blood cell count dropped. It was I'm just at the border where they wouldn't want it. So that's why they gave me the Neulasta shot, which should hopefully either stop my white blood cell count from dropping or increase my white blood cell count. My red blood cell count is back into normal, which is great. But it's those are the effects that I've had with it. The peripheral neuropathy this time, I know I'm feeling it. I've got to ask about if it affects the sense of balance, because I haven't fallen. Okay, technically I tripped and dropped 2 inches into the seat before so a 2-inch fall into a cushioned seat. Yeah, okay, technically it's a fall, but it was because I lost my balance. I was trying to sit down and I lost my balance and dropped into the seat a little bit faster than I want. But it's a cushioned seat, didn't hurt myself or anything like that. And so that technically it's a fall, but I'm not going to tell anybody that. But feel clumsy. I really do. I'm starting to feel it. I feel clumsy, and I'm wondering how much the chemo is affecting my sense of balance. I was never very graceful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a graceful person, but I could walk and walk and chew gum. Or if you really know where that quote comes from, it's walk and pass gas is possibly the polite way to say it. That was what I believe that was the statement from LBJ about, was it it was one of the, not, it was the other Democratic president that nobody wants to talk about, Jimmy Carter. I believe that's what LBJ said about Jimmy Carter. He said it about somebody, but it's one of those things that and LBJ was notorious for being rather crude. So anyway, but that's the phrase there. But no, I can walk and chew gum, and have some do that, but this chemo has affected me a bit. I feel much more clumsy. I drop things because of the peripheral neuropathy. Well, thank you for watching. I've talked too long right now, and I'm looking forward to going through number 12, and that will be the last one, hopefully. And then everything's looking good. So thank you for watching.